Hi, it's Mrs. Todd down here. I'm ready to teach you your lesson on adding integers. This is going to be a straightforward lesson. We're not going to do any modeling. In the classroom, I'll look at some modeling with the students who are still struggling. This is just a review, so we're going to get it straight into what you end up doing. So your step one when adding integers is you need to determine if the integers have the same sign or do they have different signs. Okay, that's what you will use to determine which operation to use. So let's fill in this chart. If you determine they have the same signs, you're going to add the absolute values together. If you determine they have different signs, you're going to subtract the absolute values together. So let's talk about that word absolute value. Remember, it is the distance a number is from 0 on the number line. So in blue, I'm going to show an approximate digit or distance for the number 4. It would be 4 units from 0 on the number line. So we would say the absolute value of 4, I'm going to put it up top, is 4. Okay, now let's look at a negative number. Let's show the distance of negative 10. It'd probably be somewhere over here. Quite a bit larger, isn't it? So now we're talking distance is absolute value. What would be the length of this line, the distance from 0? It would be 10 units away. Okay, so notice what absolute value really kind of means. It means ignore the sign. So when you look at these problems and you're thinking same sign, different sign, am I going to add or subtract? When you do that, ignore the symbols when you do that. Okay? All right, step 2 then is going to be determine what sign your answer should have. You're going to use the sign of the integer with the largest absolute value. Now that rule isn't always needed, and several of you guys are going to realize that on my first 2 examples. However, I always like to emphasize rules that always work, and that one always works for every problem. All right, let's look at 2 examples. 12 plus 16. They are the same sign, so I'm going to add them together. Same sign, add. 12 plus 16 is 28. Now, even though it's not needed, rule that always works, find the number that would create the longest line. 16 would. What is its sign? It's positive. So that's why my answer is positive 28. Let's look at a second example. These also have the same signs. I have negative 21 and negative 7. So same sign, add. Remember, ignore the negatives right now. I'm just going to think, what's 21 plus 7? It's 28. Now, determine what my answer, sign of my answer is going to be. The one that would create the longest line is that 21. It's negative, so my answer is negative 21. Again, notice that in a way that rule wasn't needed because it makes sense. If I have 21 negatives, I add 7 more negatives to it, wouldn't the answer be negative? But again, like I said, we're looking at rules that always work. All right, let's look at some more examples. On these examples, I hope you notice really quickly, oh, now we're looking at problems that have different signs. So remember what we do when the signs are different. Different signs, subtract. So ignore the symbols. I'm thinking, what's 15 take away 8? Well, 15 take away 8 is 7. Now step 2, determine your sign. Find the number that would create that longest line. It's negative 15 would be longer than 8. So since the 15 is negative, my answer turns out to be negative 7. All right, our second example, positive 13 plus negative 7. All right, so different sign, subtract. Think 13 take away 7. We get 6. All right, let's find the digit that would create the longest line. It has the largest absolute value. That would be the 13. It is positive, so now my answer on this one turns out to be positive 6. All right, once you've completed this video, your next step is going to be to complete your practice exercises. Good luck.